Hey guys, it's Jonah here, back with another beer review, and I'm back upstairs, which means I'm probably not doing one from a box. And I found this one when we were doing our Christmas shop at Lidl, and I totally forgot that I had it. I put it in a box under the stairs, and then I found it the other day and went, "Where did this come from?" Because I couldn't remember. And then when I looked up where it did come from, it said Lidl. Um, Anyway, it is this bad boy. I think it was on offer as well. I think it was reasonably cheap. 71 Brewing. They are from up in Scotland, Dundee, I think. I'll see if I can work it out. And this is a Cheap DIPA. This is the Luminous Nights. They also do one called Luminous Lights, and I got a bit confused. But this is the strong one, no doubt. Big tropical citrus notes over a juicy body. Anytime someone says anything juicy, I think Simcoe hops. Yeah, I thought so. Dundee DD1. Right, what does it say on here? Using carbon capture. Okay, so that's cool. They do that in my local brewery too, Eddie Gadd and the Ramsgate Brewery. I'm looking on here to see if I can work out, scan that QR code if you want, if I can work out what the hops are, but I can't. The fact that it's for Lidl as well. Now, Lidl do some insanely cheap stuff, and I don't think this would have been over £2. I can't remember exactly how much it cost. But yeah, 7.5% or 7.4% in a big can as well. Hey, you knew I was going to try and get this. Oh, and I've got a big glass for this one, a pint glass, and I chose a honeydew glass, not the chalice that I used last time, but I've got like a schooner kind of, yeah, schooner shaped one. I don't know if I've seen this one for a while. There you go, honeydew. But I quite like the shape, and I don't know if you can see from the old camera, but this has lots of little circles etched into the bottom. I would love to know how they do that. There's probably some machine that does it. That means it could get fizzy wrongness. Right, glass, pint glass, blah, blah, blah. Or a 440, I should say. But this could get very fizzy very quick. So I'm going to pour it reasonably slowly. So I don't want to have a massive head come the end. This has been in the fridge, chilling away for at least 2 days, I think. So that has done it the world of good. There we go. That looks pretty proper. So let me turn it sideways on so we don't get the old honeydew on there, the Jonadew, but the honeydew. There we go. Luminous light, 71. Let's turn that sideways on, and then a grin. And that'll be the thumbnail for this video. So, good fingers head, slightly off. It looks proper white, but let me tell you, dear viewer, it is slightly off. And I can see that the carbonation is coming up. I don't know if that's showing on the camera, but the carbonation is definitely there. Is it forming on the bottom? It doesn't look too bad, but let me tell you, the carbonation is there. Right. Now, that does smell citrus. It smells juicy, and that usually says to me that they've used Simcoe hops in there. The fact that it's that hazy as well says to me that there's definitely wheat or oats or a combination of the two in there. That looks like a proper beer, a proper NEPA. Let's dive in. If you're new to the channel, or if you're just checking out this video, welcome. Think about subscribing, all that stuff that helps YouTube people like me out, and I just tend to drink beer. So yeah, anything YouTube gives me as a kickback, and they haven't for ages, but they do on occasion, it's getting ploughed straight back into my beers. cheers and beers. Oh, oh, bit of a hiccup there. Okay, so there is a bit of greenery there, like verdant sort of style greenery, but there is that kind of juiciness there too. So in addition to what I'm calling Simcoe, although it doesn't taste full on Simcoe, there is a little bit of kind of pineapple-y stuff in there too. So maybe they've used some other hops, Mosaic maybe or something like that. But there's definitely a green hop in here. And knowing what I know about hops, I'm almost 100% that extra hops is Citra. Wow, that carbon dioxide is really kind of absorbed into that beer, kind of repeating on me. And that's not a good thing. Maybe I was just drinking a bit too fast. Anyway, let's try and drink some more. When in doubt, drink some more. Oh. Yeah, there's a bit of kind of pithiness there, a bit of kind of grapefruity stuff too. That greenery's in there. That's quite a nice beer actually. And for 7.5%, getting near on a pint for a couple of quid, that's got to be worth it, right? Right, before I'm going to take a wee break, but before that, I'm going to give a State of the Union address for 2024. Took me a while to work out how to download my figures from Untapped, but I did finally work out how to do it, and they released it at the end of December. So I'm not sure if it includes all the beers right until the 31st or not. But anyway, never mind. So I drank in 2024 1,071 beers. So I cracked the 1,000 beers in a year, which I'm quite proud of. That's quite an achievement. That's drinking somewhere between 2.5 and 3 beers every day for a whole year. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I was kind of in my head thinking that's achievable. And I did it in 2024, so 1,000 beers in a year. Um, what I was a bit disappointed with was it was from 870, no, 887. So almost 900 of those beers were unique. So they were totally unique. And of course, the other couple of hundred were beers that I drink a lot. Guinness, that's my staple go-to when I can't get anything. And obviously, I drink a lot of my local brews. So Gads, for example, I drink a lot of their range, really good beers, and easy to get hold of. And then there are other ones that I quite like that I get every year, like the Winter Ale from St. Peter's. I've got 24 of those downstairs. Well, slightly less because I've cracked into them already. But I bought 2 cases to get me through the winter. So those I'll have had. And I did the same last year. So, 20-ish beers. Of those, 200 will be St. Peter's Winter Ale. And then when you go out for a dinner or something, I tend to drink, the same beers. If I'm having a Chinese, I'll have Tsingtao. An Italian, I'll have Peroni, Nastro Azzurro, something like that. But yeah, the next challenge, and I'm probably not going to do it this year because I'm still feeling a bit rubbish with the cancer and everything. So yeah, I'm going to back off a little bit this year because 1,000 is proper. But yeah, the next big thing is to crack 3,000 beers on Untapped, unique ones. And then maybe the year after, if my financial situation warrants it, maybe I'll try and do 1,000 unique beers in the year, which is, Yeah, I think that's doable, but it would take a bit of planning, if you know what I mean. Yeah, difficult. Anyway, let's get back to this beauty. Let's just remind you guys what it is. I'm drinking the Luminous Nights from 71 Brewing, 7.4%. What they're calling a double New England hazy. I think I call it a deeper, perhaps. Uh, a deeper Nipa, a D Nipa. Don't know. Anyway, it's quite a nice beer. 7.5% as well. Proper. Oh, that is pretty damn good. If you like the kind of juicy, pithy, slightly more bitter style IPA beers, and if you like your strong beers too, this one is one to choose. Definitely easily available through Lidl. Is it going to knock any of the big boys off the top step? Probably not. I've had a few much better deeper beers of late as well. However, Scotland, is it as good as the some of the Brewdog beers I've had? I'd say it's not that bad in comparison, and you're getting a 7.5% beer, which is good, and probably getting it a little bit cheaper than you would from Brewdog as well. So 71. I've seen them in other places too. Um, oh, pardon me. Yeah, that that carbon dioxide is definitely soaking back into the beer, and then as it's warming up inside my tummy, unfortunately, it's finding the path of least resistance. And luckily for you, dear viewer, that's just a belch every now and then. So I apologise. There's a good amount of lacing, fluffy white clouds, kind of on the glass there. Is it as separated and as stuff as it would do if it had proper amounts of oats in? I suspect perhaps this has only got a smidgen of oats and a lot more wheat. I'd say this is more a kind of wheat beer than anything else. But does that matter? Not really. Not when you're getting a nice beer for this cheap. Um, I think I might have to pay attention to more of the Lidl beers. I know Simon Craft Ale Real Beer Review, whatever he's calling his channel these days. I remember when it was the Real Ale Guide. Do you remember that? Back in the day, talking about 10, 15 years ago. But he's gone craft brew now. He does a lot of the Lidl beers, and Beer Goggles used to as well. He used to get beers from everywhere. He was a real cool guy. Actually met him once as well. Nice chap. Oh, there we go. Maybe a touch on the bitter side for me, but that is not a bad beer at all. Get them in Lidl, 71 Brewing. The beer, this one is called Luminous Nights with an N. There is also a lighter beer called Luminous Lights with an L. Don't get confused. Go for the stronger one. Go for Luminous Nights and you'll be happy. This has been Unclejona, drinking beers purely for your entertainment, of course. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Remember to drink some beer. It does make you smarter. And I'll be back for another beer review coming up real soon.